All right, so good afternoon, everybody. Thank you all so much for your patience and for joining in this conference. So we'll get started right now, and want to start off with a video that will take you through what we do here at Green Growth Africa and what the EcoJustice initiative is all about. So we'll just sit back and relax, and we'll take you through the journey with us. Thank you once again for joining in this conference. It's a pleasure to have you here. So we'll just get started.
No sound.
Sorry?
What is it?
No, the EcoJustice.
No sound. No. Come. It's supposed to be the PDF first, then the studio talk. Later, it's before I read my slide, I talk about EcoJustice. Okay? The PDF first.
Okay.
The PDF first, please.
So once we start talking while I show it.
You show the PDF, and then next is the studio tour. Okay? Yeah. Correct that. Correct that.
All right, so we'll have Mr. Adedoyin here, the Executive Director, just give us a brief insight on what we're here to do, and then we'll show the video. So sorry for that. So we'll just have him take over now. Thank you.
All right, good morning. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for coming. It's a privilege to host you here. And sorry and sincere apologies about the timing and the delays. Right, so I'll just give a brief about the organization because, I think one or two persons here have asked me about the organization trying to read online. So I'll just give you a brief about what Green Growth is all about. By the way, we're about 7 years old, more than 7 years now already. So just this is a brochure which we can give you a soft copy, the story so far of what we have done. Green Growth Africa is an organization, well, in the conventional understanding, you call it an environmental organization, whereas it's a bit more than an environmental organization. If you look at the word green growth, the simple way I explain it is this. If you look at the word green growth, is a noun phrase. The noun is a growth, the adjective. The green is the adjective. That's sort of saying like development organization that supports green development initiatives. So basically what we try to do is, if you look at Africa, currently because Africa is still trying to sort out a lot of social and economic questions. So if you go to Europe and you're talking about -1 centigrade of climate change, they will listen to you. But I'm sure if you go to my president today and start talking about -1 centigrade or whatever, the guy is not going to listen because he still has poverty to solve, education issues, health issues to solve. So the way to get Africa into environmental questions and environmental initiatives is actually to look at development solutions that address both social, economic, and environmental questions all together in an integrated solution. That's what we do at Green Growth Africa. And we've done that in several ways in about 22 African countries. Am I too fast? We've done that in about 22 African countries, and we have brochure of what we have done here. I don't want to start with the stories, just to show you a few pictures. We've done environmental eco-use initiatives, which actually empower young people across the continent in secondary schools to be able to identify environmental challenges in their community alongside the social and economic implications. And then they come up together and brainstorm, leveraging on STEM knowledge they have learned in class, science, technology, mathematics, and engineering, to come up with solution ideas, which we support them with mentorship and fund. We've done in about 11 countries, and some of the, I'll show some pictures. Some of the initiatives have received awards from the Japanese government, from Cameroon government, Ghanaian government, and things like that. We've served about more than 10,000 students in all these 11 countries. And these are some of the solutions. This, by the way, this is in Abuja. Develop so many solutions. And if you come to mentoring for research program, we also do similar programs with the university, but focused on graduate students who are doing research on anything, any field, medicine, art, theater, art. As far as you're able to integrate environment into it, it becomes Green Growth, and then we support them with mentorship. We supported about 178 PhD and master students in 55 universities across 22 African countries, for which we have data for. we've also done a lot of advocacies, reaching about 10 million people on grain growth issues online. And by the way, we have a building, a grain building, something like this, built 100% waste plastic bottle, somewhere in Ibadan, behind IITA in Ibadan. And this is EcoJustice Africa. We've done some other things, but that's just to give you a brief overview of what the organization is all about. So now we can watch the video that just threw us, because you're seeing this play a bit rough now because we're trying to adjust many things. Just a short video to tell you where you are, and then we'll take it off from there. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Are you a content creator, TV producer, podcaster, or journalist looking for a high standard studio to air your platforms? Well, you're watching the right video. This is Green Growth TV and Studios, and let's show you what we have to offer. I'll start with this workstation that we have here, which gives you a very comfortable and relaxing atmosphere for you to prepare and to structure for your programs. Now let's take you upstairs to show you where all the magic happens. So like I said, I want to show you the magic and where the magic happens. So this is where everything happens. This is where the production happens. This is where everything you see out there is made. I'll start with this 3-in-1 table set, which is multifunctional. As you can see, it's all one, but it doubles down in whatever setting you need it to be. So if you want to have a panel discussion, if you want to have a one-on-one, whatever it may be, you are able to manipulate it into whatever setting you need it to be for your program. And for my podcasters, we have, as you can see, a very relaxing and comfortable layout for you to host your guests and to have meaningful and enjoyable conversations, so you're not bothered about the scenery. As you can see, it's a very relaxing and a nice scenery for you to just enjoy your time while you're here. And all this will be captured on a high-end set of cameras, and which also doubles as a prompter to give you guidance if ever you need to not to be bothered about what you're saying. We do have a prompter for you to make use of in the course of your program, and a preview screen, a preview TV screen for you to see what you're doing in real time, so you know how you're looking when you're actually shooting your programs. So yeah, we have that down for you. Our studio is fully soundproof with effective soundproof facilities. And without a doubt, you can see how well lit the studio is. That's because we have very high quality lighting equipment in the studio to capture every single moment in real time and in good time. And what I have here in my hands, as is very obvious, is a wireless microphone that would improve the audio that we hear. So you don't need to be bothered about holding a mic or anything like that. All you need to do is strap it and your audio goes very smoothly. So now let's see what happens behind the scenes and how everything is controlled. So now this is what we have behind the scenes with our master control room. As you can see, my personal favorite is the multi-view TV screen, which we have over here, where you get to see yourself in different shots and capturing different moments. And right here is a view mix that actually allows you to broadcast your shows live. So in case you want to do, live broadcast with your programs, that's definitely not a problem. We have the equipment for that. There's also the video mixer, where we can switch shots to ensure that we're capturing every single moment as we ought to. And there's also the audio mixer as well, to ensure all of the sound and everything is in check and is right as it should be. Without a doubt, Green Growth TV and Studios has everything you need for a start-to-finish smooth program production. So what are you waiting for? Send us a message or call the number that you see on your screen. You can as well send an email at studios@thegreengrowth.org. We look forward to hearing from you. It's just Alright, so that was just a little tour of our studio before we get to the big thing. So before we get to the major initiative of which we're here to table, we'll just have a short media introduction just to get to know everyone that we have here, and then we'll get right into it. So I'll just pass the mic and you can introduce yourself and the organization that you're representing.
morning or good afternoon. I am Georgina because I work with the Rice News.
My name is Kingsley Jeremiah. I work for the Guardian newspaper.
Okay, I'm Chidima Okeke, Daily Trust.
I am Michael Olugbode with This Day newspaper.
My name is Mark. My name is Mark Suba from Leadership Newspapers.
My name is Franca Ochiwo, Nation Newspaper.
My name is Favor Lebo. I write with Vanguard Newspaper.
Divine Grace Okoto, intern with Arise News.
Edina Francis, Arise News.
Thank you very much. So we now have the Executive Director give his opening press brief on the EcoJustice Africa initiative. So
I think it's going to play the video first. It's going to play the video first. Yeah.
Okay, yes, so we do have a video on that one as well. So we'll have that played before he gives his speech.
From the air we breathe to the food on our plates, nature's hidden work keeps you and I alive and flourishing. The essential services nature offers us, fresh water, fertile soil, climate stability, and food production, sustain our quality of life, livelihoods, health, peace, and foster socioeconomic development. Sadly, criminal activities like illegal mining, deforestation, and wildlife trafficking, among others, are stripping the environment of its ability to deliver these essential ecosystem services, putting both the planet and human lives in grave danger. In Africa, environmental violations are rampant in rural, remote communities, areas largely beyond the reach of government, media, and conventional security systems. Those who dare to report these crimes risk severe threats, victimization, and even their lives, leaving many to suffer in silence. The result? Lives, livelihoods, and human rights are eroded, ecosystems are degraded, and communities become increasingly vulnerable to climate shocks. To combat environmental crimes and empower citizens to exercise their rights to a clean, healthy, and sustainable environment, Green Growth Africa launches EcoJustice Africa. This citizen-driven, tech-enabled initiative allows you to document and report environmental crimes in your community in real time through the Green Growth Watch mobile app. From illegal logging to hazardous waste dumping, your phone becomes a tool for justice. Simply snap a photo or video, choose a crime category, add details, and submit your report. Once submitted, your reports are sent to the EcoJustice Situation Room, where experts verify each case using advanced technology and stakeholder collaboration. Verified cases are then escalated for advocacy through direct stakeholder engagement, social media campaigns, and green growth television, where they feature in news reports, debates, and dialogues, driving both policy reforms, legislative, and judicial actions. Throughout the entire process, citizen reporters can choose to be anonymous, protecting them from risks, threats, or victimization. To facilitate effective grassroots mobilization and engagement, environmental activists who are already working with local communities will be recruited through an EcoJustice Fellowship initiative. The Eco Fellows will be trained and empowered to provide grassroots coordination, training for citizens, and verification of citizen reports. Imagine that with phone, you can be a change maker without the exposing yourself to risk, threat, or victimization. EcoJustice Africa also takes away huge time and financial investment required to visit government office to make report, while enabling you to speak and be heard by government and other stakeholders. EcoJustice Africa is raising citizens as a new generation of environmental activists and redefining environmental advocacy to achieve an environmentally just Africa, where citizens are aware and able to exercise their environmental rights. Together, we can combat environmental crime to build a greener and more just Africa. Join the movement right away by 1. Partnering with us. 2. downloading the Green Growth Watch app. And 3. Subscribing to our YouTube channel for a sustainable and just Africa. EcoJustice Africa is leading the way. Will you join us?
I will say some things after the press conference about the first video I'll watch. All right, so we share this video just to give a rough idea of what I'll be reading so that you might be able to understand better. Good day, distinguished members of the press and colleagues. It's a privilege to welcome you today as Green Growth Africa unveils groundbreaking initiative that address one of the pressing issues of our time, the fight against environmental crimes and violation. As we reflect on 2024 and prepare for the year ahead, let's recall a devastating effect that serves as a sobering reminder of our collective responsibility to combat unlawful environmental activities. On January 16, 2024, a blast linked to illegal mining activities in Ibadan, Nigeria's third most populous city, claimed 5 lives, injured over 70 people, and destroyed homes and livelihood. The disaster caused by improperly stored explosives used in illegal mining exposed the socio-economic ripple effect of environmental crimes, billions lost in property damage and medical expenses, lives forever lost. Disturbingly, beyond the initial days following the blast, there has been no further information on the incident, and it is likely that the said illegal mining has continued unchecked. The tragedy is an assembly of a much larger and insidious issue, the rise of environmental crimes across the continent, Africa, and its catastrophic consequences on our social, economic prosperity and natural ecosystems. Environmental crimes have emerged as the world's 4th largest form of organized crime, trailing only drug trafficking, counterfeiting, and human trafficking, according to the United Nations Environment Programme and Interpol. As a continent, Africa is blessed with rich biodiversity and natural resources, a quarter of the world's mammal species, 1/5 of the world's bird species, and 1/6 of the world's remaining forests call Africa home. Sadly, out of the abundant biodiversity coupled with the endemic poverty, weak regulatory frameworks, and low risk of detection and conviction makes Africa a prime target of illegal mining, wildlife crime, illegal logging, hazardous waste dumping, and other environmental violations. These violations are concentrated in remote and marginalized communities, areas often beyond the reach of conventional security, government, and even the media. While these crimes are properly called crimes against the environment, in reality, they can be described as crimes against humanity, given their far-reaching economic and social implications. For instance, every year, environmental crime costs Africa about $195 billion. In context, that is more than 10 times of Nigeria's total budget for 2024. For the over 70% of people living in sub-Saharan Africa who depend on forests and woodlands for their food and livelihood, environmental crime threatens their food security, jobs, and income. This illicit activity not only devastates ecosystem and the lives of millions of Africa depending on the ecosystem services, but also fuel corruption, promote money laundering, and weaken the rule of law. As such, developing African countries lose billions in potential revenues and development opportunities, while a small group of criminals rape the profit, leading to quandary which in Nigerian parlance may be described as monkey dey walk, baboon dey chop. Beyond the immediate potential social and economic impact of environmental crimes and violations, such human activities negatively affect natural ecosystems, leading to environment-related calamities that are entirely preventable. For instance, droughts, one of the most common disasters in Africa, can be linked to illegal mining and deforestation. While we often mischaracterize such events as natural disasters, the truth is that they are not natural at all. Terming and referring to them as natural disasters posits that they happen naturally and that there is nothing we did to cause them and there is nothing we can do to prevent them. But is that truly the case? No. Nature is balanced from creation. Disasters of such form for which we suffer significant social and economic losses are caused by humanity's upsets of natural ecosystem. Hence, we say there are no natural disasters, rather nature-based disasters. Today, we stand together to change this narrative. And then the solution, which is talking about EcoJustice Africa. Though widespread across the continent, environmental crimes are prevalent in remote communities where the obscurity from the reach of conventional media and security system allow them to persist unchecked. To address this, citizen-led environmental policing presents a promising approach as they enable local residents to monitor and document and report violations, an important first step in combating environmental crime. However, this approach is hampered in African communities by several bottlenecks. First, the center-periphery relationship between the government and citizens creates a significant barrier. Remote communities are often disconnected from central authorities, leading to a lack of government-people engagement, trust, and collaboration. This dynamically undermines the ability and willingness of citizens to engage in environmental policing initiatives or report environmental crimes, as they may feel their efforts will not lead to meaningful action. Second, government bureaucracy further complicate the process. Reporting environmental crimes often involves navigating complex administrative procedures, which can be time-consuming and frustrating. Third, the time and effort required for sustained reporting and follow-up can be overwhelming for volunteers. Finally, there is the issue of victimization and security risk. Reporting environmental crimes can expose individuals to retaliation from those benefiting from such illegal activities. Fear of harm, intimidation, or social ostracism often discourage citizens from stepping forward, particularly in areas where law enforcement is weak or complicit, like African continent where we are. To confront these issues, Green Growth Africa is proud to introduce EcoJustice Africa, a citizen-driven tech-enabled initiative designed to combat environmental crime and empower communities to exercise their rights to a clean, healthy, and sustainable environment. EcoJustice Africa combines 7 solution pillars to stem environmental crimes and promote environmental justice in Africa. 1, citizen empowerment. 2, digital innovation. 3, data verification. 4, stakeholder engagement. 5, evidence-based advocacy. Data-driven policy engagement. And last, number 7, strategic litigation. To employ a people-centered approach, empower citizens as environmental activists, facilitate inclusivity and equitable access to the media, Green Growth Africa develops the groundbreaking digital innovation, Green Growth Watch, as an eyewitness reporting mobile application. With the Green Growth Watch app, every citizen is empowered to become a frontline advocate, an eyewitness reporter for environmental justice, and we call them eco advocates. This digital solution will enable citizens to capture, document, and report audiovisual evidence of environmental crimes and violations and related events within their localities in real time. Throughout the process, citizens can choose to be anonymous, protecting them from threats, victimization, or worse. Additionally, the initiatives include EcoJustice Fellowship Program, which leverages our innovative mobile application to train environmental activists as eco-fellows for in-country verification of reports to empower citizens as eco-advocates. The strategic use of digital technology ensures a wider reach, real-time tracking of environmental crimes and violations, and hence a stronger impact in the fight for environmental justice. Further, we welcome you to our EcoJustice Situational Room, a critical nerve center of our Green Growth Television and Studios, established as a data analysis, communication, multimedia, broadcasting, and training hub. that is established to provide wide and effective communication, education, advocacy, policy dialogue, and strengthen civic space on green growth. It is here that citizens submitted reports are received, are reviewed, verified, and escalated for action. When citizen reports are submitted via the mobile application, Green Growth Watch, they are received at the Data Verification, Analytics, and Engagement Unit of the EcoJustice Room, where each reported cases is verified using technological and engagement tools. Experts verify each case using advanced technology and stakeholder collaboration. Verified cases are then escalated for advocacy through direct stakeholder engagement, social media campaigns, Green Growth Television, and collaboration with mainstream media houses like yours, where they feature in news reports, debates, and dialogues to drive both grassroots action and policy reforms. While we hope to secure justice through direct stakeholder engagement and media advocacies, strategic litigation will also be engaged for cases that require stronger measures to secure justice. As such, EcoJustice Africa featured the following. 1. Citizen empowerment. EcoJustice Africa strengthens civic participation and amplifies grassroots efforts for environmental accountability. Through the EcoJustice Fellowship Program, local environmental actors will be trained to educate their communities, build a network of grassroots environmental advocates. The empowerment of grassroots advocates with the high-tech Green Growth Watch mobile app will empower them to capture and document and report environmental crimes and violations in real time while ensuring their anonymity for safety. Citizen reports submitted via the mobile application will be received and verified through the technological and engagement tools at the Data Verification, Analysis, and Engagement Hub of the Situation Room. Verified reports will be used for advocacies through stakeholder engagement, social and mainstream media, including strategic litigation where necessary. Verified citizen reports will also be used to support policy reforms and judicial actions, ensuring that the voices of the citizens in the most remote communities lead to meaningful environmental justice and better governance. Digital innovation. Digital innovation is at the core of EcoJustice Africa, from our Green Growth Watch mobile app to our EcoJustice Situation Room, as it provides a scalable and impact methodology to address environmental crimes and promotes civic engagement. EcoJustice Africa leverages on proliferation of smartphones, multimedia tools such as videos and pictures, and geotagging to enhance the timeliness and accuracy of citizen report. As at EcoJustice Situation Room, we employ with advanced technology for data verification analytics, while reports elicited from the data are then disseminated through Green Growth Television, social media campaigns, and collaboration with mainstream media like yours, leveraging digital platforms to amplify advocacy and drive policy reforms. Moreover, through EcoJustice Fellowship Program, we will build capacities of the youth and community-based CSOs on digital literacy and advocacy as fellows are trained to use the mobile app and engage in digital verification process. Capacity building, which is number 3. Green Growth Watch mobile app, EcoJustice Fellowship Program, and EcoJustice Situation Room will strengthen the capacity of civil society organizations, journalists, media houses to respond to this pressing challenge of environmental crimes by reducing the cost, time, and risk associated with reporting environmental crimes and violations. Verified reports on environmental crime will serve as actionable intelligence, enabling stakeholders to focus on advocacy, storytelling, and holding violators accountable. Number 4, stakeholder engagement. Through EcoJustice Situation Room, EcoJustice Africa will facilitate open, in-person, and remote stakeholder engagement between government agencies, private sectors, civil society organizations, and local communities. The Situation Room will serve as a dynamic platform for dialogue, debates, policy analysis, and advocacy to facilitate environmental justice in Africa. The multimedia engagements have been designed to bridge the gap between citizens, communities, and the government that represent them, including businesses, enabling all parties to play a role in driving accountability, tracking process, and catalyzing sustainable change. Data repository. Verified reports submitted via the Green Growth Watch mobile app will be verified systematically and systematically analyzed and stored, creating a robust database of environmental crime and violations in Africa. The database will be used to profile and characterize environmental crimes and violations on the continent as a real-time digital map to support policy, regulatory, legislative, and judicial actions. The repository will offer policymakers and stakeholders a clear picture of recurring environmental issues and enabling them to craft targeted policies and interventions. Evidence-based advocacy. Verified reports will be used for evidence-based advocacy via direct engagement with government, social, and conventional media in print and in television, security and intelligence agencies, among other relevant stakeholders, to address the reported cases. This will be done through participatory and audiovisual interviews, including public dialogues, documentaries, news reports that will be aired on YouTube and social media platforms with participation from citizens. This will also include spotlighting and commendations of efforts taken by stakeholders to combat reported environmental crimes and violations. And the last one, strategic litigation. Where necessary, strategic litigation will be engaged to seek justice on verified reported cases of environmental crimes that cannot be resolved via stakeholder engagement and advocacies. The data collected from Green Growth Watch mobile app and verified by Situation Room will provide an invaluable resource for prosecuting individuals and organizations involved in environmental crimes. Such detailed documentation, including geotagged photos, videos, and qualitative narratives, will strengthen legal cases, ensuring that perpetrators can be strategically prosecuted so as to hold them accountable under the law. Conclusion. The devastating consequences of environmental crime extend far beyond environment. They disrupt the lives of millions of Africans, threaten food security, jeopardize the social and economic development of our beloved continent, Africa. Urgent coordinated action is needed to combat these crimes and protect Africa's future. EcoJustice Africa stands at the forefront of this action by empowering citizens with digital tools to expose environmental crimes. We amplify their voices and shine a light on injustice that often go unnoticed. Our approach ensures that decision makers have access to accurate, timely data to deliver targeted policy intervention, hold perpetrators accountable, and foster systemic change. Through EcoJustice Africa, we are building a movement to reclaim our collective rights to a clean, healthy, and sustainable environment. We cannot do this alone. To government, we call on you to prioritize policies and frameworks that protect our biodiversity and ecosystem from illicit activities and strengthen regulatory capacity to curtail environmental violations. To civil society organizations, join us in amplifying community voices and driving grassroots action. To private sector, partner with us to sustain and expand EcoJustice Africa's impact. To the media, we invite you to collaborate with us in amplifying the fight against environmental crimes by using your platforms to spotlight these issues and raise awareness about their far-reaching consequences. Friends in the press, I should let you know of our willingness to collaborate with your various newsrooms to provide you with verified reports of environmental crimes and violations from Africa. This will reduce your time and financial investment in sourcing for news from across the continent and help to increase the scope of your reportage. Let me mention that in addition to serving as EcoJustice Situation Room, the studio started operating and will continue to operate as Green Growth Television and Studios as a data analysis, communication, multimedia broadcasting, and training hub that is being established to provide wide and effective communication, education, advocacy, policy dialogues, and strengthen the civic space on green growth, which is our main focus. Through EcoJustice Africa, we look forward to facilitating evidence-based advocacy towards realizing an environmentally just Africa, where citizens are empowered to exercise their environmental rights and their rights are respected. Together, we can combat environmental crimes, restore dignity to those whose livelihood depend on Africa's natural resources, and create a just, equitable, and prosperous Africa. Will you join us? Finally, we would like to appreciate the support from the Worldwide Fund for Nature and the Swedish government through the Regional Youth Intervention for believing in this vision and this concept towards realizing an environmentally just Africa where citizens are empowered to exercise their environmental rights and their rights are respected. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. Can we give a round of applause for that? All right, thank you so much to Mr. Adedoyin Adeleke, Executive Director of Radio Africa. So now we'll proceed to questions and answers from the media. In case maybe there was a part you missed out or you want more information or clarification, we're open to that. So any questions?
Yeah.
Can you take them
It's
down?
not working, so.
You can speak, and
Yeah,
you can
just
take them down.
introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Franca, Nation Newspaper. My question is on your development solution. I'm not particularly clear when you say, you made mention of development solution, safer places. When you say development solution, what exactly are you talking about? You have your Green Growth Africa program is spread out, has a lot of branches. So where are we looking at the development solution? That's one. Then secondly, advocates on what? What are you advocating on? Because there are a lot of things that should be clarified out there. If we're writing on as Green Growth Africa Sustainability Network, advocate on what? And then solution. Those are my two questions.
Okay. The other one.
All right, do you have any other questions?
All right, thank you very much. My name is Mark again from Leadership. It's a good initiative you are driving, but I want to know, because you also talked about prosecution of offenders and other strategies you'll be using to get this done. I want to know, do you have a partnership with any government establishments, for instance, in bringing those perpetrators to book? And then how do you also hope to get to those mostly affected areas by environmental disasters? How do you want to go to those areas and be able to capture those areas to get the work done? Thank you.
Sorry, in addition to that, can you tell us the number of cases you've handled?
Okay, so I would like you to speak to your projection regarding environmental crime in Nigeria and the rest of African country. We have typically see a lot of issues from the exploration of oil, and then Africa is at a central space in the new energy minerals. In terms of exploring these minerals, which is becoming a common thing across most African countries now, to power new energy, to what extent are we going to be seeing this crime? You also mentioned the losses that Africa is currently having as a result of environmental crime. In terms of short-term and long-term projection, how quick are we able to reduce some of these losses? And if you can put a figure to a projection or a mindset of what can be reduced over a long-term or a short-term period if the right things are done.
Thank you very much, sir. Do you want to say something?
I just want to find out if you have the
Okay.